to Apple Makes. It's been a while since I've filmed the last video, and I have a few things to update. So I'm gonna film just my whips here, and then I actually am going to my parents' house later, and then I have some yarn stashed over there, so I'll talk about my plans later today, hopefully, if there's enough light. And I apologize, I'm sort of lost my voice. I've been sick. But let's get through this because I don't want it to go too long without updating. So I have, like I said, a few whips, actually 4, which is a lot for me. So I'll go through starting from like most to least finished. So let's get started. Let's get out of the way. I promised my parents I would be there for lunch, and it's already 11:11. So let's get going. Alright, so first up is actually something I showed, oh my goodness, something I showed last yarn time episode, I think. So let me pull it out of its bag. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a little stuck on this guy. So this is the striped pullover that I showed last time. And I think last time I had just finished the body. And here it is. You can see I finished a sleeve. So I finished one sleeve. And I mean, I love it. It's so cute. It's super soft and cozy. But I am definitely on that second sleeve island right now. And I think part of it is just I'm a little tired of just doing stockinette in the round. Like, I mean, this whole project has just been that. And, you know, I love it, but getting a little tired. I'm not gonna lie, getting a little tired. So I took a little break from this, but I do really want to finish it, like hopefully by the end of the month. And, you know, you can see, like, I just have to finish the sleeve. Like, how many stripes do I have left? I've got, let's see, I just started this white stripe, so I've got that one, 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, I literally only have 3 stripes left to go. What am I doing with my life? And then obviously the cuff. But I'm really struggling, guys. I don't know. Wait, no, I have more than that. Hang on. I'm not holding it right. Wait, actually, yeah, I do. I'm almost there. What am I saying? Right? Wait, no, I'm not. 1. Oh no, I'm on this stripe. Oh god, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, if I really like sat down and did it, it probably wouldn't take me like even a week, but it's just been a test of endurance on this one. So hopefully I get it up and going soon. It's just been sitting in this giant dust bag I have. Pro tip, if you're like me and you like collecting handbags, you can use dust bags as project bags. Oh my god, I'm so sorry about my voice. It's totally gone. I've been coughing all week. I went to Mexico for a wedding and it was so much fun, but I got so sick coming back. I think a combination of the travel and also like the partying, because it was like a 3-day wedding. So we went really hard. So I'm still a little sick, but you know, we're on the mend. Okay, so that's that one. So, I mean, hopefully the next time I film a yarn time, it will be done, and maybe I'll even be wearing it, but as of right now, we're on Sleeve Island. Okay, next one is actually one that I'm surprised that I've gotten so far on, actually. So I mentioned this as a to-do, like as a plan, something I was planning on starting in my previous video, and it is the spring cardigan by Tiffany Lou from Typical Bliss, and obviously based on, I think it's an Italian designer or something that Kendall Jenner was wearing. But I started sort of just like, oh, why not? And then I like sped through the body, and I'm actually filming a separate video, like a progress video, a process video, getting into more detail, because I did modify the pattern a lot. Like, I pretty much just used her pattern as a stitch count reference, and then I worked it top down, back yoke, front panels, and then connect for the body. But this worked up super fast. It's on 7mm needles, which I think is part of the reason why. But also it's just a lot of fun. You know, it was my first time doing cables. I was really enjoying the pattern in the front, and then the 2x2 rib was also quite enjoyable as well. So I finished the body, and then I was like, okay, I should stop and move to something else, because I promised myself this was going to be more of like a back burner project, but I really am quite happy with it. It's a little bunched up because of the cabling, obviously, but I was going for a slightly less cropped fit than she has in her pattern, because like her version, like here, like if I had gone with her version, it would be like barely covering my chest. So I went for it to hit more closer to the actual waistline. So it's a little bit less cropped, but hang on, I'm trying to sneeze. Okay, never happened. Sorry about that. What was I saying? Yeah, so I made it a little less cropped, but it is still quite on the shorter side. But I think it'll be really cute for, you know, the spring, or I could even wear something under it for colder weather. But this one is forcibly on pause right now because I don't want to get too carried away. But really, really like it. It's the Wool of the Andes worsted from knitpicks in their haze heather color, which I really like. Super pretty. And I forgot to mention well, I did mention in my previous video, but for the striped pullover, that's Drops Paris, which I have a more detailed review in the previous video if you're interested. But yeah, so whenever I get back to this, I will keep updating my progress video, and then that will be posted whenever I finish. But that one's no rush, obviously, although I kind of like wanted to rush through it. This is so fun. But I'm forcing myself to put it aside for now. Sorry if I'm talking a little faster today, because like I said, I promised my parents I would be back for lunch, and I still have some things I have to do. But onwards. So the next whip is one that I also mentioned in the previous video, and I actually managed to get it started. But let me tell you, this one has been a struggle. I'm like mid-row on this one also. Hang on. Sorry, I'm like so germy and disgusting right now. I don't think you can really tell. I moved this. Actually, no, it's not too bad. So this is a gift knit, actually. So this is an open front raglan cardigan that I'm making for my brother, and I'm trying to have it done for Christmas. We'll see if I make it, but I'm almost done with the yoke. Like, you know, I think once I separate for the sleeves, I'll feel better. But this is just a freestyle, like no pattern. I had started out just knitting in just stockinette, but I was getting so bored of it. And you know, it's a men's sweater, so it's extra big, and it was just so laborious. And it is worsted weight, but my gauge on this is on the smaller side. I think it's like 20 stitches per 4 inches or something like that. So it just felt like it was taking forever. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to just switch it up and add some stitch patterns just like on a whim. So I started doing a little bit of moss stitch, which you can't really see. I don't know if you can see. I'm doing a little bit, like a sort of a variation on double moss stitch that I'm sort of inventing myself, where the knit rows sort of interlock or like overlap a little bit. I don't know. I actually saw one of my mom's store-bought cardigans, and it had this interesting sort of texture, so I'm sort of copying it, but I don't have it with me, so I'm honestly kind of just making it up from my memory, and it's probably not the same at all. But I'm just messing around with it. Again, it's really just more to make it interesting for me, because if I had to do the rest of this in just stockinette, I think I would just pass away. I would just die. So my plan is to do like maybe just like a big wide band of texture across the middle of the cardigan. So again, here's like the yoke. So across the body and like the most of the sleeve, I'm planning on having, you know, like a few inches of this moss stitch if I like how it turns out, and then I'm gonna do maybe a few inches of like 2x2 ribbing, and then maybe a few inches more of the small stitch to balance it out, and then end the sleeve and the body back with stockinette just to keep it balanced. Sort of inspired a little bit by the Ingrid sweater, because I really like the 2x2 ribbing and the seed, I think it's seed stitch on that one. I think it just looks nice, and I'll probably separate the bands with like a row of reverse stockinette or something like that. But I don't know, I'm kind of just messing around. So sorry to my brother, your gift knit is going to be kind of a guinea pig. So yeah, you can't really tell so much with this yarn either. Like the texture's not super obvious, which I think is nice. So it's just like a subtle, interesting thing that will maybe add a little bit of visual interest, but it's really more so for adding knitting interest for me. But yeah, this is taking freaking forever. It's on 5.5 millimeters, so it's not even on like really small needles or anything, but I don't know, man. I mean, I'm almost done with the yoke, so we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. So that's that. So I'm excited because this is my first real gift knit. I have a few things planned for my parents, but I have not started them yet. So we'll see. Maybe by the time I film the next yarn time, those will be on the needles. But I have one more whip to show you, and then I have to freaking hurry up and do my chores so I can go to my parents' place. So I'm gonna just tuck that away. This is another dust bag. This is actually my Telfar dust bag. Works pretty nicely as like a small project bag. So again, hot tip, if you collect handbags like me, dust bags are the way to go. And then the last whip is one that I've been flying through, and it is another one started on a whim, and it is the sweater number 15 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. So I'm actually on the front yoke of this baby. Oh, the color looks so good on camera. Oh my gosh. This is kind of cute. It's like one of those like collar necks. But yeah, I was planning on starting this. I was planning on making it, but not really anytime soon. But I was so happy with the cables for the spring cardigan that I was like, what if I just did another cable project? And I started this like not even 2 weeks ago. I started it before my trip to Mexico, and I brought it with me to the airport, which was a great way to pass the time. And it's been so much fun. Sorry, I just realized I also forgot to mention the yarn for my brother's project. That's Hobbii Lima in their like jeans blue color. But back to this one. So I've just been really loving the cables, and I think kind of where I'm at in my knitting ability, it's like the perfect level of, it's interesting enough that I can't just like completely space out and get bored, but it's not difficult really at all, so that I don't have to be like stressed about following the pattern or following a chart. And so if you're interested in doing a cable sweater, I really recommend this pattern. It's written super clearly, and it's row by row. So like I said, you don't have to follow a chart if you're not familiar with those. And I've never used charts before. You just have to follow exactly the instructions, and it's super easy. And she even includes videos for some of the techniques, like increasing on cables to make it look nice and neat. So really recommend if you are interested in doing a cable project. It's really beginner friendly, and it's my first pattern that I'm following like word for word too, without making really any modifications, although I am planning one, which I'll explain in a second. So I've been really liking that, just been going through and checking off each row and having a blast. I'm knitting this in Drops Flora in the pistachio color. Let me grab the balls. So it's Drops Flora, and the Drops Kit Silk in their sage green color. And I bought this yarn ages ago, and I've been dying to use it, and I finally can, and I love how it looks. It's just such a nice color. Like, I think the mohair adds this really nice, like, sort of dusty halo, and it's just so pretty. And it actually, I feel like, I don't know if I'm just imagining this, but it's not as itchy as my other project. So I did another pullover with Drops Lima, which is just a DK version of Drops Flora, and the Drops Kid Silk in like a different colorway. And I felt like that was really itchy when I tried it on, but this one I keep putting it I keep like putting it up against my neck and my chest, and it's definitely not like, I can feel it, but it doesn't feel as annoying and prickly as the other one. And I don't really know why that is. I have no idea. I don't know, maybe it's just like a different batch or something. My other theory is that this yarn had been sitting in my parents' house for a while, like just sitting in my closet at their place. And the closet gets really cold because their heating doesn't really get into the closet, because they live in like a detached house. So it's not like super, super, super insulated, I guess. But I wonder if that maybe affected the fibers somehow, like the cold. Because I know a lot of advice for making yarn less itchy is to freeze it. But I've also read that that's a myth. So I'm getting mohair on my mouth. So I don't know. Anyways, I mean, I haven't fully tried it on like just like on bare skin, so it's just been like the neck test. But the neck is where I get the itchiest. So I don't know. Maybe that's a good sign. I mean, I probably would still have to wear something under this just because I don't want to get like my gross body sweat onto this beautiful baby. But it's been super, super fun. I don't know what it is like about this yarn and this pattern and then this needle combination. I'm knitting it on 4.5 millimeters as per the pattern. But I just feel like it's flying off the needles, man. Like this is like a lot of knitting for me to have done in like 2 weeks, especially at this gauge. So yeah, here's the back. I love the increases, by the way. Like the cable increases look so nice and smooth. It's just a really nice pattern. Really do recommend that for anyone looking to do a beginner friendly cable pullover. But yeah, I don't really have much more to say about this. I think my goal with this is just to like let myself have fun. You know, I force myself to put the other me project, like other selfish knit, aside for now. But this one, I'm just gonna let it go and see where it takes me. Hopefully I don't end up on Sleeve Island with this one. But yeah, I've just been really enjoying this one. I think I'll probably take this to my parents' place actually, because it's also smaller because it's, you know, it's smaller gauge, so it's just more compact and easier to carry around, which is nice. Yeah, so those are my whips. Okay, so I'll end it here. And then when I'm back at my parents' place, hopefully there'll still be enough sunlight in the day to show you some of my stash and some of the plants that I have for the upcoming few months. But yeah, I will see you back at my parents' place in a few hours. Okay, made it back to my parents' place. Still very phlegmy. But I do have some yarn stash here that I want to show you guys, and I'll talk a little bit about my plans that I don't have the yarn for yet, just very briefly. But I really wanted to show off this yarn that I got from Hobbii. So this is their Winter Glow, and it comes in these like gigantic, what are these, 200 grams, I think? Yeah, 200 gram cakes. Anyways, they're huge, but I've had my eye on these for a while because I really love their variegated colorways. So they also come in a solid. So I got the solid cream color, and this comes for some reason in a smaller skein. This is 100 grams. Don't know why. But I got this one. I don't know. This is color 26. I don't remember. I don't think these actually have names. I think they're just like by what the colors are in them. So this one's really nice. It has like blues and golds and sort of, I don't know, kind of like brassy colors. So this is super pretty. And I also got I got this kind of coral blush, tan-ish colorway. So my plan is to make a sampler blanket. So like a sampler square blanket with these colors. So the white will be kind of like the separator, I guess. or not separator, I guess. It'll just be kind of, I'm planning on sort of a checkerboard sort of situation. I don't know. I'm gonna see. But I was inspired to do a sampler blanket because I was visiting my friends and one of them knits. Sorry, my hair is a mess. One of them knits and she had done a sampler blanket and it looked really nice, super cozy. So I asked her for the pattern. It was actually from Drops. So I'll link that below. But there's like brioche squares and I think some like diagonal striping and possibly some like star stitch. I don't know, which I haven't done before, but she had added on her blanket some additional patterns like that she came up with her own, like a cable square and some other things I forget. So that's kind of the plan, is to do just kind of as many different patterns as I can think of and do like one in each color. So like a pink brioche square and a bluish brioche square and a cream one, and then just kind of put it all together into a blanket. So I want this to be kind of like a chill, fun project for when I'm on my winter vacation. And the goal is to not get bored of the project, because I have tried to make blankets before where it was just like all the same square and I got tired of it after like the 20th square, as you can probably imagine. So I'm gonna try to make these nice and big squares, have them be different, you know, they'll be different colors and different patterns, so I think it'll be fun. I don't really know how, so I bought, let's see, I have the bag next to me. I bought 2 skeins of this. Yeah, I bought 2 of each of these colored skeins, so that's 800 grams of the variegated yarn, and then I bought, I think, another 400 grams of the cream. Probably not gonna be enough. I'm probably gonna have to get more of the cream color, but I don't want to over purchase if I haven't even started it, you know, because like I said, blankets can get a little boring after a while, so I don't want to overcommit. And if it's a small blanket, then it'll be a small blanket. That's fine. I think the Drops pattern actually is for more of like a smaller throw blanket anyways. My friend made it larger to fit her bed, but I am aiming for more of a throw situation. But yeah, I really like this yarn. It's like, you know, very nice and soft. It's 50%, let's see, 51% wool and 49% acrylic, so it's about half and half. But I think it's quite nice. It is, interestingly, like a single ply. I don't know if you can tell. So it is a single ply twist. So I'm hoping that it won't be too hard to work with. But the reviews on Hobbii were all pretty good. So I have very high hopes. I think this one's my favorite. I actually had my eye on a different colorway, but I think that was sold out when I bought this because I got this on sale. And I think these two go together a little bit more anyways, as more of like on the pastel side. So that's this yarn that I have here that I'm very excited about, that I want to show you. I have some other yarn stashed at my parents' place too, but I'm like not planning on using them really anytime soon. So if I get to it, then I'll get to it, I suppose. So just to finish off today's video, I'll just talk a little bit about some patterns that I'm planning on working up that I have the yarn like in my cart, but I haven't pressed buy yet. But I'm pretty sure I do want to start these, excuse me, maybe like next month or something. So one is a gift knit from my mom. Hopefully she's not listening. It's the olive cardigan from, I guess it's just Knitting for Olive, like their own patterns. And I was looking for a interesting textured cardigan to do on Ravelry, and I saw this one, and I had seen other people knit it on Instagram, and it's, I don't know, I think it looks super nice, and it's like the leaf pattern is super cute, and I'm planning on knitting it in this like orangey color, so I think it'll look super good. It'll have like that fall vibe. I did buy the pattern already, and I looked at it, and it is charted, which I've never done before, so I'm a little nervous. But I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be fine. Fingers crossed. I have said in my previous video that I was gonna knit something else as a gift knit, but I did buy that pattern as well, and I looked at it, and it's definitely a little bit more advanced because there's a lot of techniques that I'm not as familiar with in that one. So I will probably hold off on that for now, and then do the olive cardigan first. And I'm planning on doing that also in Wool of the Andes, from KnitPicks. I've already, picked out the color. It's super pretty. It's like their persimmon heather, I think, or I forget what exactly it's called. But it's like this nice orangey, pumpkin-y color, which I think will look really good. So that looks exciting. That's my plan. And the other one that I am planning on getting yarn for is the Ingrid sweater, which I'm sure plenty of you have seen before. But I think it's just a nice classic sweater to have, and everyone always says that it's a lot of fun to knit. So I'm gonna probably knit that one up for myself at some point, with also some Wool of the Andes in their crane heather, which is like a nice sort of warmish gray heather color, which I think will look good in that pattern. So those are my two plans. And so I'll keep you updated in the next video about, if I manage to get my hands on the yarn and if I get them started or not. But I just want to get that out of the way. I'm like so tired. I'm planning on going and taking a nap right after this. The only thing I forgot to say, which, I mean, it doesn't even matter, but I don't think I mentioned in the previous part of this video when I was talking about the sweater number 15, the modification that I'm planning on making is actually to just a sleeve. I'm going to be adding a decrease, I think, probably, because I like the wider bell sleeve sort of look, but I don't think it's as versatile, especially if you're like me and you want to like push your sleeves up a lot. I think that would just make it really difficult. So I am planning on decreasing at one of the cable twists on the underside. Shouldn't be too difficult, and it'll just make it a slightly more tapered situation. And I saw someone else on Ravelry in like the projects page of the sweater number 15 pattern that had done exactly that, and it looked really good, looked like what I wanted. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Don't have a lot of acquisitions. I've managed to not buy any yarn recently. Well, I probably will buy some very soon. But yeah, just wanted to film another update, and I will catch you all next time. Bye!